Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to do just a really simple project that's all about fabric pattern combination. So sometimes I don't think we have to do anything different. I think we just have to recognize the parts of the patterns and figure out how to best bring them out. And I had a lady say to me a little while ago, you know the pattern so much better than we do, so it's easier for you. And she's right. I drafted the pattern, so she's absolutely right. I know them better. So I'm kind of excited to bring this to you today, simply because it's a great fabric pattern combination. So the pattern is 511. It's called Angie's Top. The original was a BCBG, and you know BCBG is very, very pricey, but it's simple. It's really simple for the most part. So I love watching what they're doing and kind of bringing them to you. And then of course what we know about stripes is that stripes are everywhere for summer. They're going to continue to be there for fall. I've looked at so much fall preview and they're just really, really popular. So stripes. And a lot of times this is, the stripes are being used in all directions. And so this pattern and these stripes are just perfect together. And I think you'll agree once you see what I'm doing with it. So in this particular case, I'm using fabric 2580. It's a Rebecca Taylor linen. It's 100% linen. If you notice on the fabric, and I know you don't have it close up, but you really can't tell the difference from one side to another. The only thing I decided is on one side, the pink stripe is a little more pink. And so I decided that's the side I would use for my right side. But if you're making any garment that you want to use both sides or that it's reversible, that would be very easy to do. This top, just depending on how you make it, is low enough that you can wear a little camisole under it. And since I've been a little kid, I love blue and pink together. So that's my reasoning for doing the blue and the pink, just me. But obviously you can do lots of different things with it. So we're going to take, and including, this is the front piece that kind of goes right there. You could simply cut that higher. You know, this sews to itself, it crosses itself. You can see there's one there and one there. So if I wanted it to come up higher, I would simply bring this line. This is piece number 1. I would simply bring this line up more instead of curving it out. And you could easily, or you could bring it up this way more. Lots of options to bring that neckline up. But I love that it's just almost like a little bit of a loose blouse and it has something under it. So that's the way I wanted to keep it. So we're going to just play with lines is all we're going to do. We're going to play with stripes. So you actually cut 4 of these. This front piece faces itself. And so what I did is I put the stripe in the direction of the bottom of the piece. Now what that did is it created the whole front. Get my hair out of here. It created the whole entire front on the bias. Exactly what I wanted. All right, then I came in with the next piece and I wanted the stripes going horizontal. And the reason I wanted that, obviously the contrast first, but the main reason I wanted that is because everything on the side I wanted to go vertical. And so if I put this vertical, that meant this went horizontal. That's not what I wanted. So I was just thinking through the whole thing, give you food for thought, but it is a great pattern to play with stripes, to play with different fabrics, etc., etc. Then obviously on the side, you can see that I put those going vertical. So there's a grain line on the pattern, just put the stripe with the grain line in that particular case. And then if you notice there's a sleeve, and that sleeve comes up in here. It's basically a raglan sleeve, but it's built into the sleeve. It's just a really unique top, and I love this top. And so if you notice on this side, I put the stripe going this way, and on this way, I put the stripe going the other way. That was for no other reason, just complete fun. It was just fun to me. And then I repeated those same directions for the back. The side back being up and down, and then the middle piece being horizontal. So this was just a lot of fun. I'm going to tell you that it's 100% linen. So you can see there's wrinkling to it. But what we know about linen, there's just no better fabric on the planet. I will tell you though, I think as fabric has gotten better and better and better and higher quality and all that kind of stuff, this is Rebecca Taylor. It's $14.99 a yard is what we're selling it for. I promise you she paid way more than that for it. That's the beauty of getting those fabrics from the designers, is they're just kind of, you know, not wanting the fabrics laying around that have been in stock, and so we get to take advantage of them. So what I did, I just want to tell you, is I measured 2 yards. And then I threw it in my washing machine with Coca-Cola. And I know I've talked about Coca-Cola before. We've got enough new people, I'm going to say it again. you're going to take a can of Coca-Cola. There's some ingredient in the Coca-Cola that softens the fabric. A woman from Australia told me that it was a different and it stained her fabric. But I want you to see that this is the original color and this is my color and this has been washed, and I can see absolutely no difference. I did not put soap. I have a front loader and I just put a can of Coke in the soap dispenser, no soap, washed it on a short cycle, and that was it. It softens the fabric. So the difference from here to here is significant. It just really makes a difference. So I did it twice. I washed it in Coca-Cola, took it out, put it back in, put another can of Coke in, washed it again. Just because I love linen. What I don't like about linen is that it's crisp. I wanted it softer, and I love the top. I love the result. So, but I did take the 2 yards, washed it the 2 times in Coca-Cola, and again, it's Coca-Cola, not Diet Coke, not Pepsi, I don't know what it is, just Coca-Cola. I was given the tips years ago. I didn't question it to the amount that I've been questioned, so it's fascinating to me. I just listened, obeyed, and did it in the washing machine. Then I put it in the dryer and literally threw it in the dryer. Out of the 72 inches, I only lost 2 inches. I'm sorry, I lost 2 inches, not 70 inches. I lost 2 inches. So that's like 2% shrinkage. That's really, really small, but do pre-wash it if you're going to wash it. So then I thought, okay, I wonder if it'll shrink again. So I threw it in the washer, no Coke this time. I just threw it in the washer, and I'm just doing this while I'm doing other stuff. I threw it in the washer, threw it in the dryer. It did not shrink additionally. So just for you all, I thought 1 wash or 2, depending on how much you want to soften it. And then of course the 1 dry will give you all the shrinkage. And there was 2 inches out of 72. For this project, again, I used fabric 2580, and I used 2 yards, and that gave me enough to manipulate the pieces. If you're a little nervous about that, just go by the yardage on the back. I found I didn't really need any more because I was moving lines other ways, but that would depend on what size you're making and which way you want the stripes to go. Obviously the bias and the bias facing takes up a little bit more, but I think this would be a lot of fun to sub into different colors, and I just think there's all kinds of fun things to do with it. So the little ties are what tie it up on the side and the sleeve, and I used the stripe going up and down though, so that when it turned up you can see there's a stripe going down the middle, but you can use all of those out of your scraps. Just a really fun top. And then because it was summer and it was soft and it was linen and all that stuff, I used the little pearl buttons, and we've got those on our site as well. All right, so we've got you covered. Just a great fabric pattern combination. The goal is to just give you ideas to love what you're sewing and to hopefully make it a lot easier for you. In this top, there's no real fitting. It's a princess seam is built in here, as well as a raglan. There's no cup sizing in this pattern. You're going to have extra fabric in here because of that raglan, and so you just go with it and you wear it with it. But that's exactly why I wanted the linen to be as soft as possible so it didn't just go boing, and I really accomplished that. And I absolutely love it. Happy sewing from Silhouette Patterns.